Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a collective reading and it is timeless, so whenever you come across this video, however you come across it, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. You were asking for clarification or guidance on something that you're working on, something that you've been working through, something you're looking forward to, or something you can see coming down the road and you're not quite sure how to address it. This is just going to be one of the informational messages you're going to be getting throughout the day, throughout the week, however long, as long as you need the information coming to you, as long as you are receptive and have that open heart, that loving heart, that open mind, willing to think outside the box, consider options, consider what might be available that you didn't see before. Until you come to that space, you're going to keep getting these messages, and they're going to basically be variations on the same theme. And we've been going through our mega deck. You can look down in the description below to see what that was, how that was built, and what all that is. But we've been pulling one card every morning from our mega deck. And today's card is pulled from Meredith Young-Sowers Angelic Messenger cards. Yes. This is a really old deck. When was this published? Hang on one second. 1993. I bought it used, obviously. But I think it was gifted to me. It's been so long I don't remember exactly. See how minds work? See how memory works? We'll make up things to fill in the blanks if we're not sure how something went. Just FYI. So if you're feeling like you're not sure if you're remembering things correctly or not, it's possible you're not. Just FYI on that. But that card is card number 9, representing tenderness. That is the card that we have pulled for our message for the day. We have asked for clarification, guidance, confirmation, affirmation. What is the most helpful message for whoever sees this video, however they see it? That's the only thing I ask when I start these readings, when I pull out that desk and shuffle it through and say, what's the information that will be most helpful for the most people who see this video? That's it. So I don't make it really complicated. I don't do a lot of rituals or anything like that. Most of the ritual is kind of built in to how the deck was built. And like I said, you can get that information down below. So I love this card. I think it's most beautiful image. I really think these are hollyhocks, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, please feel free to correct me. It's okay. I don't mind. Feel free to add anything you would like in the comment section. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed to the video and or channel and you would like to do that, I encourage you to do that. I don't get any money from these videos, as I've made it clear down in the description below. I don't make any money from these. This will never be a monetized channel, but it does help the YouTube algorithm, help other people find these videos and find the channel. And we want that because the more people that can see it, the more people that can be blessed by it. And also, once it gets above 1,000, I have the opportunity to turn off the ads. So it's not like I'm working for a goal for a specific reason like that, but if it happens like that, that's okay too. But I am glad you are here. Like I said, I wouldn't be here if you're not here. So the only reason why this channel exists is for you. So thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I wanted to find out what kind of spiritual significance hollyhocks have, and pink flowers in general. So if I'm wrong on the hollyhocks, I'll be right on the pink flower part in terms of the research that I found. But the hollyhock flower can represent the circle of life, latent ambition, and they represent fertility and abundance in life. The symbol of the pink flower is deeply rooted in cultural traditions and folklore. Historically, pink blooms have been associated with feminine energy, gentleness, and nurturing qualities. And the flower has been used to make a medicinal tea, People use hollyhock for preventing and treating breathing disorders and digestive tract problems. Some people apply hollyhock directly to the skin, although you want to be careful and take caution on that because some people have an adverse reaction, skin dermatitis, as a result of brushing up against hollyhock. So be careful with that. Okay. But some people apply it directly to the skin for treating ulcers and painful swellings or inflammations. And a lot of wildflowers, wild plants in general are used like that. Willow bark also very good for inflammation and that kind of thing as well. That's the base for what we make aspirin and acetaminophen and ibuprofen out of, was the white willow bark tea. Not necessarily tea, but the white willow bark. So anyways, that's just some background information on pink hollyhocks, or hollyhocks and pink flowers in general. I don't know, honestly, what I see with this flower, what I see with this image. The in the playlist, in the description for this playlist, there is a description of what these images are, but they are actual photographs rather than drawings. You have to remember, this deck was created way back before Oracle decks became like a thing, before YouTube, before mostly internet even existed. So these cards kind of stand alone for me. This deck kind of stands alone in terms of the energy that it produces. It's so different from the rest of the decks that I have, which are drawn, except for the Crystal Grid. That's the only other one that's actual photographs. And I love the idea. Photographs have had a very actual kind of scary history to them in terms of spirituality. A lot of religions, a lot of belief systems, philosophies, cultures don't like pictures being taken of people, of faces. There's this belief that you're kind of capturing the soul, which is kind of what we're trying to do here with these cards, with these images, is we're trying to capture the energy, the energetic signature, the frequency, the vibration, the messages that are being imparted, communicated, and transmitted to us through the images. I see tenderness. Yes, I see gentleness. I see the pink and green feeling very heart chakra, which is obviously very love-centered. And tenderness, true tenderness, comes from love. It can only come from love. Tenderness is kind of a reaction, almost. When you see a puppy or a kitty, a kitten, when you see a baby, those fragile things, you tend, that's the first part of this word, you tend to treat them carefully, with care. You pick them up tenderly. You pick them up gently. And I believe that we need a lot more gentleness in this world. We need a lot more tenderness. And do not mistake tenderness for weakness. Do not mistake tenderness for a lack of strength, a lack of resolve. These plants grow everywhere. They were sometimes in Victorian times known as outhouse flowers because they would grow next to the outhouses. So they have the ability, the talent, the skill to take something that maybe isn't all that attractive, isn't all that what someone consider positive, and turning it into something beautiful and amazing. That's what tenderness does. That's what the talent of tenderness has, is the ability to transform things which are crass and vulgar into things of grace and beauty. But we can only do that through love. And why would we want to do that? Why do we want to take something that's crass and make it beautiful? Why do we want to, today of all days, I mean, these are timeless readings, and as I said, you know, whenever you come across this video, it's the right time for you to be getting that. But I am uploading it on the day that the United States is having a national election. We have them every 4 years, and today is our official voting day. I'm not following the elections. I'm not following news in general. I haven't for years. I found it's the best thing that I ever did for myself and for my world as a whole. I think everybody needs to just stop watching the news in general. If you've heard any of these videos more than, this is not the first time you've been here, you've heard that information. You've heard that message from me before. Don't watch the news. Turn it off. It's not news. There's nothing new about it. It's usually not completely accurate. There's always going to be a slant of bias, things that are given more emphasis and less emphasis depending on who is relating the information. So most of the time we're not getting the accurate information to begin with. So why? Why do this to ourselves? Why promote all of that energy of anger and fear? Well, there's really good reasons for it. It creates business. It creates profit for those companies. But we don't have to give them our money. We don't have to give them our attention. We don't have to pay attention to them. We don't have to give them that value from us. We can choose to look at what is actually under our control, which is what we're doing, thinking, feeling, saying. We can look at our current environment around us that is immediately surrounding us, and we can see, how can I be of benefit in this situation? How can I bring benefit to my neighbors with the way that I live, with the way that I carry on my business in my community? I had a great day yesterday. I was riding a lot of buses. It was the very first day of snow here in Albuquerque, which doesn't happen often. It was freezing, literally freezing cold and wet and miserable. It was a horrible day to be riding around on buses, but I had to get stuff done and I got it done. But I had the opportunity with, other people on the buses that weren't really happy with the, having to be on the buses in that kind of weather and being cold and miserable. The drivers dealing with people that were cold and miserable and being obnoxious. There were so many opportunities for me yesterday to give a smile, to say thank you or good morning. As soon as I got on the bus and said that to the driver, you could see their entire face changes. And then the person that gets behind me, that goes on the bus next time, they get a little better response from the driver because I was kind, because I gave them that tenderness. How can I do that? Because I feel secure in myself. I feel safe. I know my integrity, my honesty demands that I bring my best self forward in every situation as much as I possibly can. It's going to come and go. Our best may be, at this certain level on one day or at one time of day. And it may be way down low when we're tired and kind of feeling grumpy, on the same day, just a different time. So it doesn't matter how much that best is, as long as we make that commitment to bring our best into any situation, to be our best selves, to be tender, to bring more tenderness into the world. Imagine a world where people were not basing their actions on what other people are doing. Imagine a world where people chose to be kind, where people chose to be tender, where people chose to be real with intention. Imagine that world. Wouldn't that be amazing? That's what we are called to bring into being with our lives. I know, Abby, we just moved into a new place and she's wandering around the house and kind of yowling, going, this is new, this is new, this is not comfortable, this is new. I know, babe, I know. Chill out, it's okay. The number 9 is the most perfected Tesla numbers of the 369. It is the most perfected number of the Tesla numbers. 3 times 3 equals 9. It is a very strong, very powerful, very spiritual number, having a lot to do with stability and strength and spiritual completion, spiritual wholeness. And from that place is where we can be tender, where we can be vulnerable. You guys have heard this so many times on my channel if you've been here more than once. I'm not going to apologize. I'm going to keep on telling you the same thing over and over. Please feel free to share this video if you think other people would like this message and it would be a benefit to them as well. I know it's not high tech, it's not scripted, it's not perfect. I don't do I don't do any editing, nothing like that. You guys are getting it almost like raw live feed, almost, it's like the next step away from a live stream here with me, with the messages, with the information, with the energy that's coming to us from this card and from whatever I can channel personally. If you want to get an up close and personal connection with this card before we go in the book, and we're going to go in the book right now. Gosh, I just looked at the timer. Holy cow. Okay. And the readings from the book are long. There are several sections. This is a workbook that I'm using for this deck. So there's like added bonus material that you get. But this is a card of strength. Tenderness has to come from strength. True tenderness comes from love, from that place of understanding whatever it is that you're responding to is something you've already dealt with. It's something you're familiar with. We can be tender with other people's pain because we understand pain, because we've been through similar things. We're different people, so we're going to feel differently about it. You can't say, I know how you feel. That's baloney. We don't know how anybody feels. We know how we felt in a similar situation, and that's what I tell people. I know how it made me feel when I went through something similar. I'm not the same person as you, so I'm not going to say I know how you feel, but I feel for you. I feel your pain. I feel like it's my pain. And is there anything I can do to help you? Is there anything that you need that I can provide for you? These are the questions we want to be asking in every situation, without fail. Doesn't matter. Do not care. Every situation. All right, let's take a look in the book and find out this is a partnership card, okay? There's different categories that these cards are in, and this is a partnership card. Developing more meaningful communication with those you love and work with. Hello. I have not read this before. You and I are reading this for the first time together right now. You have drawn this card to guide you toward more effective and intuitive communications with others. You have come to a time where you are being urged to release old influences that keep you preoccupied in conversation or in unnecessarily defensive and protective statements of your own view or ideas. Wow, how the perfect timing for this card, my gosh. Okay, this card is meant to help you put aside your past and to accept a different future. This may be a time of rapid change in relationships with those close to you. You are entering an important process of spiritual growth in which celebration of life is required. And so your relationships are needing to become more light, more playful, less ponderous, but at the same time, capable of greater depth. With this card, you are being guided to hold your own counsel and to proceed from inner power. Your angelic message. Tenderness is a profound spiritual quality embodying the deepest and most essential ingredients in lasting relationships. Tenderness speaks to a suppleness of spirit, flexibility in moving, shifting, and accepting different objectives and opinions, and recognition of one's physical finiteness and the opposite, as one's spiritual immortality. Tenderness is present in any bonding between people because it acknowledges the inevitable human struggle for life and happiness, along with an acceptance that at the end of all things, they die to be reborn. Tenderness awakes your deepest compassion. It also helps you trust others because you and they accept that dialogue is meant to encourage and shape rather than to tear down and undermine. You have entered a decade of rapid and dramatic change, and in order for your relationships to withstand these sweeping energetic shifts, two factors will need to be held firmly in your awareness. First, you are responsible for communicating from the values and knowledge held by your spirit, rather than only from your mind and emotions. Second, your spirit holds the truth of your essence. If you learn to listen to it, you will be able to hear your own emotional needs and at the same time act in alignment with your spirit. Relationships change at the spiritual level before noticeably changing on the emotional level. Long before a person breaks out of any relationship, he or she has learned or felt something deeply true that has not been honored or expressed. Communication that lifts the spirit is based on acknowledgement of life as a spiritual process. Relationships are metamorphosing as people awaken to their inner spiritual perspectives and values. People come together today to help their spirits mirror a primordial wisdom that comes from deep within. Relationships are joyful and important to your life only when they enhance or shift your own inner wisdom. For this to happen, you need to trust, value, and respect those you enter relationships with, or you will be unable to accomplish your spiritual mission. Spiritual opportunity. The guidance through this flower can help you observe and learn from the contrast and complementarity of your inner and outer natures. This lovely flower image shows you its own difference between its outer presence, or symbolically the face it shows to the world, and its inner nature, the divinely inspired essence. The flower's external color of pink represents love and guides you to appreciate the importance of giving and receiving love in your life. The inner image of white symbolizes divine perfection and is set off by the pinpoints of crimson, which represent moments of bliss, meaningful guidance, and interaction with the divine and the universal teachers. This image is a This image is a metaphor for your life and the continuity that is possible when your life reflects tenderness. Application. This card urges you to create a new language with your partner or others close to you. You need to recognize that you and your spouse, child, parent, coworker, boss is trying to tell you something by his or her remarks, actions, and/or assumed inability or unwillingness to meet your needs adequately. Assume that when your needs are unmet, so are those of the other person. Bam. Ask those close to you to participate in creating meaningful ground rules that apply to arguments and misunderstandings. Consider such practices as always using the first person, like I or me, when speaking. Refuse to accept that one person is right and the other person is wrong. Speak your truth, while at the same time accepting that others will see their truth more easily than yours, and you will see yours more easily than theirs. But it doesn't mean that neither one is not true. They are true for each of you. Believe in yourself enough to ask others to hear what you need to say. Setting up a shared personal language for relationships allows you and others to express your feelings and your beliefs while at the same time making room for others to also be as right and as sure of their opinions as you are. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Yes. Can I just say that again, please? Please? Thank you. Allow yourself and others to express your feelings and your beliefs while at the same time making room for others to also be as right and as sure of their opinions as you are. Yes, this deck always gets me emotional. Absolutely. Every single time. It's like your heart gets touched and you can't help but have a little tear, have a little frog in your throat, have a little emotional response to that touch. So if you get a little teary with these with me, that's okay. If you don't, that's okay. Just like we just read in the book, whatever is true for you, honey, is what is true for you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. If you believe that one person is the right person to act in this position, you know, in terms of like election things for today, for example, but tomorrow it's going to be somebody at the workplace that says, no, you have to do things this way. This is the only way to do things. It is the right way to do it. And you know for sure because you've done it another way. And it's so easy to get into arguments about stupid stuff. Absolutely ridiculous things. No, this is the right way. No, my way is the right way. No, mine is the right way. I've been doing it this way for years. Well, so have I been doing it my way for years. Well, it works just fine for me this way. Well, it works just fine this way for me. You guys can both do your own way. Do it your own way. You don't have to have, if both ways are working, if both ways get you the result that is required. And I'm thinking in particular of workplace situations because it's so easy to get locked into these personality debates with people. I got to be mindful of the time. I'm so sorry, you guys, but I can just get going forever on this idea of allowing space for other people to be themselves. Gives you the opportunity and space to be yourself. Let me just finish with that. Allowing others to have space to be themselves, to believe whatever they want to believe, allows you to have the opportunity to have your own space and to believe whatever you want to believe. All right? Not everything has to be only one way or the other. There is room for all, as it harms none. And that's the only caveat. If it's not causing any harm, stop complaining about it not being the same way as you. Stop pointing out things that you think are wrong simply because it's not the way you do it. If somebody colors their hair purple and green and blue and yellow, let them. Don't judge them. Piercings all over the place, tattoos from Scot hairline to toes, does not matter. Don't judge. We are not called to judge. We're called to discern what is true for us and allow others to discern what is true for them. Okay? So that's where I'm going to leave it for the day. That I can go on forever, but I'm looking at the clock and I keep apologizing and realize that it's gone on a little longer than normal. But I feel that this needed to be said. You can allow yourself to be tender from that space of feeling safe, that you know who you are and nobody's beliefs, nobody's ways of doing things are going to rock you off of your very firm, solid knowledge, foundation, belief of who you are and what is right and true for you. So I love you. You guys are amazing. You are so strong, so smart, so powerful, so worthy, so worthwhile, such an amazing person. Be blessed. Be thrice blessed. Be blessed beyond measure. Take this message of allowing tenderness into your life and bring it into reality today. I love you. Namaste and ciao for now.